Hello Steelers, and welcome to this video in which I'm going to be looking at Warlord Games Bolt Action A Gentleman's War box set. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is Storm of Steel looking at Bolt Action? What's this all about? Has he given up on Chain of Command? Well, no, I haven't. What's happened is, I mentioned it in a previous video about the Waterloo campaign box sets, but Warlord Games reached out to me just before Christmas and asked if I'd be interested in having some of their material for my channel, for use on my channel, and for various videos and things. And of course, I said yes, I would. I'd be interested to see what some of it is. However, they didn't ask for anything more than that. They basically just sent some stuff out to me. So thank you massively to Warlord for that. Sent quite a lot of things out actually, and basically they haven't paid me for this. I'm going to say this up front, full disclosure, simply because I know there's always a lot of people whenever I do reviews of ththings, they like to know if I've been paid for it or I've paid for it. Or however, they did send them for free, so in a way it is paid promotion. But I thought, why do they because you know they basically just sent them, there is absolutely no stipulation on me to make a positive or a negative review of these. It's entirely up to me what I do with them. So what I thought I'd do is I'd have a look at these. So this is a Gentleman's War Western Desert box set. They also sent the armies of Germany, the armies of Great Britain, and a campaign of the Western Desert, along with a few extra figures as well, which I'll show you in time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of a box opening with this, because the thing is, although my specific First Second World War interests are in 15mm, as you know, I'm not particularly against 28mm. It's just the fact that I don't really game in 28mm because I've always done it in 15mm. But I'm quite interested in to see how these look, because again, you know, from me, my point of view, I don't pay very little attention to 28mm stuff. I'm interested as well to see how Bolt Action actually plays. I've only ever played it, well, I say once. It was got quite a few times, but it was over the weekend of the XL. It was the Games Expo a few years ago when I was down there with the Band of Brothers table that Duncan Wadsell had made by Luke over at Geek Gaming. And that was really the only time I played Bolt Action, and the only time, and I'd only actually learned how to play it the day before, I think, the night before I was reading the rules. So I was kind of making up as I went along. I had most of the basic rules were in there, quite simply. So I've never actually sat down and played it properly, so I don't really know how it works. You know, I've got a vague idea of it, and that's generally come from, you know, reading other people's posts online, seeing other videos, that kind of thing, and just having a general impression of the game itself. So it'd be nice to actually sit down and play a game of it. So this is what I'm intending on doing, so I can give it a proper full review from my point of view. So what I'm going to do is, you know, I will build this setup, and I will endeavour to play a game of Bolt Action at some point in the future. I'm not sure when, but it will be a chance to do it. But in this video, what I wanted to do was just kind of open this up and just see what's in it. So it's a bit of a box opening video, but also a bit of a basic review as well, I guess, of these. Now, the thing with box sets is there's a divided opinion, I think, amongst wargamers about box sets. And personally, I think they're a great thing for the hobby, because they get people straight into a game. Because if you can provide everybody with something, you can basically pick you can get the game on the table pretty quickly. Obviously, in these cases, you've got to build the figures, you've got to paint them, that kind of stuff as well. But it's a great introduction to the hobby to somebody who is new. And I think Warlord Games and Bolt Action in particular, you know, no matter what the rules are like, as a game, they are very good as a step from people playing 40k into historical gaming. You know, I'm saying historical gaming here in quotation marks, because as everybody knows, Bolt Action is very much like a Commando Comics kind of style of game, I think. But a game it still is, you know, and a game can still be fun no matter what level it is. Now, you know, I mean, I'm particularly interested in historical accuracy, so whether I'm going to like Bolt Action or not is yet to be seen. As I say, I'm keeping an open mind at the moment, because I've just not played enough of it in the past to understand it, or really understand the mechanics of the list systems and things, and the point systems and things in there. So I'm kind of I'm filling this with caveats at the moment, just because I'm a little nervous because I might end up really enjoying Bolt Action. If that's the case, then great. If it isn't, it isn't. But well, I'm gonna give it a good crack at least. So what I'll do is, with that out of the way, the caveats out of the way, what I'll do is I'll talk about this. We'll open the box set up, and we'll have a look in there. We'll see what you actually get for your money. Have a look at some of these figures as well that they send through, and also just a quick flick through some of these books as well to give you an idea of what it is. I'll put links to the Warlord Games stuff down in the description below, as always with these videos. So I'll get this camera reset up and we'll have a look at what's in the box. So as you can see here, it's ready to go. It's still in its cellophane. I've had it for a couple of days. I haven't opened it yet. I haven't had a chance to because I've been ill the last few days. You can probably hear it in my voice. But let's have a quick look at the box. So lovely Osprey cover drawing, painting there. I think that's a Peter Dennis one. I don't know if anybody ever really got that close in the Second World War, but you know, it's certainly full of action. We've got some pictures of painted figures on the sides there, got a little bits of information in different languages, more British figures there, and then a couple more pictures there. And then on the back we have a bit more information about what you're going to get in this. So looks like we get a copy of Bolt Action, a few other bits and pieces, some transfers, decals, a couple of vehicles I can see here. So we've got an SDKF set 222, 223, and also a Humber Scout car as well. And then a bunch of figures as well on top of that. Looks like some templates and other bits and pieces, maybe some dice as well. So a bit of introduction, as you would expect. And as I say, I'm interested to see what's in this because I don't normally buy starter sets for rules or anything like that. So I'm new to this myself, really. Think of me like as a 16-year-old kid on Christmas Day opening this up just to see what's in here. We'll have a quick look, get this cellophane off, and then we'll see what we get for our money. And one of the things you can always say about Warlord is that they present things very well. Obviously, they spend quite a lot of money on their presentation, and it really does show. I said I'm an old school wargamer. I remember the days of A5 printed booklets that would pass for rules. I mean, you wouldn't get that these days because people demand something a little bit more these days, and I think I think that's for the good, to be perfectly honest. Right, so top is off. Right, what do we have first of all? Well, we've got a little copy here of Bolt Action 2nd edition. This is obviously a cut down version of it, of the bigger rules, but I don't know how much is actually in here and how much isn't from the original rules. That's about 230, 240 pages long, so a nice little chunky book there. Nice, that's a pretty good size for having when you're playing a game anyway, rather than the big A4 page. I think you can just flick through, find what you need to find. So let's have a look. Then we have a Gentleman's War. This seems to be some kind of introductory bit. Tells a bit of history of the Western Desert stuff. There we go, and a bit about Rommel and Monty, and also there's a thing about assembling your forces for the British 8th Army and also the Deutsche Afrika Korps, and then a couple of scenarios by the looks of it, painting guides as well, building guides. Always very useful. I'm looking forward to getting these done, actually, the Warlord vehicles. They are very nice models, so I'm actually looking forward to getting these built and painted up at some point. And then also a little bit of what extra you can add in to your games of Bolt Action here for the Western Desert. And then, oh, that's good, a little play sheet just to give you a brief, a quick reference sheet there as part of it. Oh, another play sheet here as well. So this is obviously part of the Bolt Action thing. Look at that, it's even got rulers on it as well. So if you haven't got a tape measure, you can cut those out and use those. That's really good, actually. I like that. So that just helps you get played straight away. That's tickled me, that has. Right, okay, what we got in here? We got set of dice. Now, like I say, I've played Bolt Action once, so I kind of know how it plays. You basically put the dice into a bag, you pull the dice out, whoever's turn it is gets a go. There's a few things I would change about that, but that's just me. And then they also have 1 in 6 orders that they can take for that turn. Then next up we've got flame markers. So stick those onto things for burning vehicles. A little set of decals down here, and it looks like sheets for the vehicles themselves. So there you go. You got information sheets for the two vehicles, obviously with the special rules and things. Makes it easier than diving back into the rules, but also a load of decals as well, which is good, which is useful. What we got here, so this is the SDKF 222 or 223. That's not going to be a particularly complicated model to build, I don't think. A couple of sprues of stuff there. Like I said, looking forward to that because I do like modelling. Then we got over here, this is the Humber. Same again, that's another couple of sprues there. Not looking particularly complicated. That'll be fun to build up. A packing token here, and then we've got the figures as well. So we've got quite a few figures. What are these ones? I can see a boy's rifle there. So there we go. 8th Army Desert Rats. It looks like you can build these up in lots of different types. So we've got guys in tam o' shanters. We've got guys in steel helmets. We've got Sikhs, and then it looks like we've also got Punjabis as well. So that's interesting. I'll probably do these as the Punjabis, you know, just for something slightly different, because they could always then disappear off to Malaya if they need to. So there's those guys there. And then what else we got here? Some more Germans, the Africa Corps. So yeah, again with lots of different types of guys there in different, not similar helmets, but they've got goggles and things, sand goggles. There's also, by the looks of it there, in tropical helmets as well for the heads. So there's probably quite a lot of things you can make up with these. So let's have a look how many sprues of figures we got. We got 1, 2, 3. I think there's about 24 figures per side in this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in total. I think that is. There's how many? Yeah, there's 8 sprues of figures there. Looks like there's about 6 figures on each. So what's 8 6s? Yeah, it says 24. So it's about 24 figures, I think, per side. Looks like there's lots of different options in there. I say there's quite a lot on each of those sprues, so that's quite nice. Then we've got these are pinned markers for use in the game itself. I could probably use little dice or something. We've got some bases. That looks like there for the figures themselves, and then a couple of the longer bases. These will be for the guys who are laid down, so like the boys' anti-tank rifle, and I would assume things like the MG34 or whatever else they've got in there. And then we also have some tokens as well. So let's look at what these tokens are. I'm guessing, I don't know what these mean, but I'm guessing some of these are maybe unspotted or pinned or artillery bursts, and then we've also got a template as well, templates and tokens. So quite a big stash of stuff in there, actually. Again, I'm quite surprised at how much you get in these box sets for the price you pay. I mean, you know, a couple of vehicles in itself is a good thing, along with a load of figures. Even if you're not going to use them for bolt action, you could quite easily use these for pretty much any other, you know, Second World War 28mm game that is out there as a good starter set. And then on top of that, you also get another, you know, another set of rules as well. Anyway, you know, you got to think about how useful these games are. These box sets are in other games. Right, next up, let's have a quick look at what else they sent over as well. So we've got here. We've got Otto Skorzeny individual figure there. Don't know if he's in his Africa Corps uniform, but he probably will be, like a nice little leader fella. I haven't opened him up. And we've also got Western Desert Campaign book special figure, Rommel, of course. Of course, there's Rommel. I can't turn him around, but there's Rommel in his classic pose with his hands behind his back. And then we also have Armies of Great Britain, Captain Charles Upham, VC and Bar. This is a British book figure. I don't know where he comes from, if he's actually in the book itself. I'm assuming he is. He's probably like a playable character in there or something, or leader or something. So let's have a quick look through these books. And again, whether you like bolt action or not, you know, whichever side you come down on, they do produce, Warlord do produce some really nice material for it. You know, in conjunction with Osprey Games, they are really well illustrated. I've seen some of these books before in the past, not in, you know, great detail, but, you know, I've certainly looked through them and I think they're very well presented. So we have here, you know, a German book, The Armies of Germany. This runs at 108 pages long, with lots of lists for use in the game of bolt action, all the different kind of vehicles that the Germans had, because they had billions of them. And then also, I think these look like specific orders of battle for various different campaigns throughout the war as well. So quite a lot of information in there, really. There's a lot of stuff, you know, for if that's the kind of thing. Then we also have the armies of Great Britain. Similar, much smaller though, 88 pages this time round, but similar again, just with an explanation of the different types of vehicles, different types of infantry that you would have, and then also the different periods of history and how to put together your bolt action armies for those as well. So, you know, another good resource for that kind of thing if you're into. And then we also have this book, the campaign, the Western Desert campaign. So this fits obviously with the Gentleman's War box set itself. So this gives you some good background information, at least on the campaign itself, how it went on, and then also some scenarios as well, different kinds of scenarios for these. Now, I think one of the main things about bolt action is, you know, a lot of people probably don't like it, probably myself included a bit, because I guess it's a tournament side of the game, where, you know, you get all kinds of crazy different army lists coming up on the table, which, you know, just from my point of view, just are not historically correct. However, I think this is one of those games where it might be that, you know, you actually play a scenario, and if you play a scenario, that really improves the game itself. It's not so much the game, it's the players perhaps, but that's just a minor rant there for you. But yeah, that's the three books there they've sent through, and the box sets as well. So, you know, some really nice stuff in there. I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to use this stuff. I'm going to have a look at it. I'm going to get these figures painted up at some point over the next year, and I will come back to it, and I will actually play bolt action and then just see what we get out of it. All right, well, what I will do is I will wrap up the video at that point. You've kind of seen what you've seen basically what I've seen at this point with the box sets and with the books and the things. As I say, I'm interested to see how this game plays. I'm interested to see how the box sets gets a game out of it. You know, how useful it is. So what we'll come back to at some point in the future is do that, and I'll get a more in-depth review of it, I think, at that point. Alright, if you've enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, give me a like up. Are you a fan of bolt action? Are you not a fan of bolt action? Let me know with positives and negatives, what you think of it. Either way, I mean, I've got my own thoughts on it, as I'm sure you are aware. But I think this will be a useful set to use, and I think, you know, people will probably enjoy it if they like bolt action. They won't enjoy it if they don't like bolt action. I think that's kind of the way it's going to go. But let me know what you think. Do give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, and if you really want to, do hit that subscribe button. It certainly helps the channel out, and I will see you in the next Storm of Steel video.